Hi, my name is Brittany Bonifons. I am a teacher at Hahnville High School in St. Charles Parish. I am most passionate about getting students excited to learn again, or getting students to care about learning, and them knowing that I care about their learning as well is like my deep-seated. I need you to know that not only do I care, but I want you to care as well in whatever capacity that happens to be. The lesson that we learned today was about graphing lines in standard form. My students are all in the 9th grade. This is all their first times taking Algebra 1, which is what I teach. Before today, the last lesson we did was about graphing lines in slope-intercept form. And so what we did for the first part of the lesson today was reiterate those skills. We did a computer portion where the students reviewed what we did last class so that they would be fully prepared for what we did this class. Things you need to know about the learners that I have inside of my classroom. Most of these learners have struggled with math at some point in time. So we are on a block schedule where the students have different classes in the fall than they do in the spring. These students are with me every day, all year long. And so that we can slow down the learning for them, we can reiterate and fill holes that they lost in the 6th and 7th and 8th grade, but we also bring them up to the 9th grade level of learning. Other things you need to know is that I have another teacher inside of my classroom. She is a support person who deals especially with students with disabilities, special education students. She works with all of the students equally, but she's there because probably 6 to 7 of my students in my class of 16 are special education students, and 4 to 5 more of those students are students that have a 504 accommodation plan in place. So the goal for today was let's graph lines, let's find some success in filling those holes, as well as let's continue to improve our learning going forward to where we begin to graph systems of lines. That's where we're going, and we begin to graph inequalities, and the overall is we are solving systems of equations both by graphing and by algebraically. To help us with this learning, I do 2 things. We are going into the Eureka module next. And so I have the students also help each other because I feel like that adds to a lesson. I do a lot of calling on individual students to cement learning, and I have a lot of students within the class that master the material, helping other students who are struggling. That way, there's not a lot of downtime because, again, it goes back to I want everybody involved in the learning process, start to finish. On your notes for today, sorry, y'all. On your notes for today, we are going to graph a second way. Everybody see our notes for today? B-Buck, can anybody tell me today we're graphing in standard form. For the rest of the class, we're graphing in standard form. What have we been graphing in? B-Buck. Ooh, no, good guess. What have we been graphing in up to right now? Slope-intercept form. Give that boy a bit. By the way, it's on the paper. Everybody look at paper? Yep. It's on the paper. It's on paper. Y equals mx plus b is slope-intercept form. A b and a buck. So we are going to graph today in standard form. What happens when y is not by itself? We're going to look at the difference. The other place it is right here on the outcomes. Y'all see the outcomes? The difference between standard form and slope-intercept form. And then hopefully we'll get to graphing a system, but I'm not going to rush us to get to graphing of a system because we can do that on Monday. All right, go over here. Here's where most of you, if you were a pin, where would you be? Right there. Thank you. So this is what we did today. That's the one we did today, right? This is the slope. This is the y-intercept. That's what we did today, right? Do you see that y is by itself on one side of the equal sign? For standard form, x and y are on the same side. So please write that down. That's how you'll know which one to do. because Monday we're going to put both of them together. If they are on the same side, question? If they are on the same side, standard form. If y and x are on different sides, slope-intercept form. All right, your turn. Y'all ready? Y'all gonna tell me which one is which. You ready? No, you're not. I see hands still moving. Here we go. If y is by itself, write an A next to it. Slope-intercept form is y is on, x and y are on the same side, write a B next to it. Standard form. When you got it, raise your hand. Let me put the timer. 1 minute. Go. When you got it, raise your hand. I'll initial you. Ooh, good. Can you initial people? Your initials, not mine. Tell me which one's this one. Are x and y on the same side? Which one is slope-intercept? That has a y by itself? And which one is standard? Can you initial people for me? Yep, keep going. Wait. Do you see x and y are on the same side?
No. I mean, yes.
So that is B, standard form.
Oh.
Do you see that y is by itself?
Yeah.
A. Good. Can you initial people for me?
Sure.
Your initials, not mine. Help. Don't give answers. Behind you, Dylan. Final initials. Was this one in slope-intercept or standard? Standard. Marvin, slope-intercept or standard?
Standard. No. Whoa. Hey, I meant
Slope-intercept. Jeremiah. A. Slope-intercept. Yeah. Oh, Jefferson. Are x and y on the same side?
B.
Very good. Tyree. Are x and y on the same? What'd you say? B. Janita. A. Questions. Questions about the difference. These are the ones that we graphed up until today. Up till today. You told me M and you told me B, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to do the other ones today. I'm going to show you how to graph the other ones today. That's the goal today. I'm going to show you how to graph the ones that have B next to them. Yes. Does everybody see the difference? Back to our outcomes. Does everybody see the difference between the ones that are marked A and the ones that are marked B? Questions about the difference? All right, let's do it. Circle your money slide. Money slide, circle it. Star it. I cannot make posters because it's hard to make graphs on posters and they don't make sense. So we will not have posters about these, so you're going to have to refer to your money slide. That's your slide. Learn it. Love it. Circle it. The first thing, I'm just going to explain this. You're going to plug in, substitute 0 for x, and find y. Then you're going to plug in 0 for y and find x. Okay? Those are called the intercepts. The intercepts are on the axis. You know how on the last one we put the first dot we put was on the axis, correct? Yeah. So we're going to find the x-intercept, which is going to go on the x-axis. We're going to find the y-intercept, and that's going to go on the y-axis. And then we're going to connect them and graph, and you're done. Are y'all ready? Do you think? I'm going to show you the long way, and then I'm going to show you the shortcut. You'll like it. It's very easy. You are. You excited? No? Just me?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Matthews. I appreciate you. Do y'all see that y is right here in our coordinate? Y'all remember plotting points? Plotting points. X comes first and then y. What number did we plug in for x? 0. And then what did we get out when we plugged in 0? 5. So you could see y equals 5 as your y-intercept. You could also see that the y-intercept is 0, 5. I don't need you to get to your leap and be like, I don't know, I had never seen that 0, 5 in my life, so I just picked anything. Do not do that. All right, Jayon, you're in. We're going to plug in 0 for y this time, Jayon. Nope. Easiest question in the world. What is 2 times 0? 0, son or sucker. And we're left with 4x equals 10. Go ahead. Oh, I thought you didn't want to be in, remember?
I want to pass.
I got to get out of high school. All right, Dylan, what is 10 divided by 4? 2.5. So x equals 2.5. Go ahead. Talk to me. I'll take either one. But I think it's easier to graph 2.5. Because y'all agree that the goal of today is to graph, right? So when I go on the x-axis, if I leave it as 10 over 4, do I know where to graph that?
No, ma'am.
No, but you know where 2.5 is, right? It's in between 2 and 3. So 10 over 4 is technically correct, but at the end of the day, my goal is to graph it. Does that make sense? 2, it is. 10 over 4 is 5 over 2. Same thing. Same thing. Love it. All right, let's make our ordered pair. X comes first, correct? Did we get X?
Yeah.
So 2.5, comma, 0. Y'all ready for a shortcut? I'm going to skip this step. In looking back at this lesson, the lesson objectives, I felt like the students did have a good grasp on graphing in standard form. So they did meet the objective, which was graphing in standard form and understanding the difference between slope-intercept and standard form, because the next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to put both of them together, and we're going to graph systems that involve both equations in standard form and slope-intercept. If I were to do anything differently with this lesson, right after we finished the portion of the lesson that you guys were able to see, we continued on and we did a Kahoot. I enjoy doing Kahoots because it allows me to see exactly what the students understand. I programmed the questions to where there are small errors here and there, and I put it at the end, and I think I would have integrated it right after we plotted X and Y intercepts. I cut straight to graphing and then went back and did a Kahoot that just identified X and Y intercepts. And I think that the students had to then piece together again how the whole picture came together. And if I were to do anything differently, that would be the thing I would change just for the flow of the lesson.